I would like to see that.
Sure, okay.
And maybe what the money was for. Those are really nice ramps. I took my father around that a couple of times, and to get him down to the lake in the wheelchair was really nice. So much appreciated.
Thank you, thanks for saying that. All right, there are no other questions on the financial statement for the month of July. It will be entered into the record. Moving on to vouchers for the month of July.
I so moved.
Second.
Any questions about vouchers?
So I do have a couple. So just so that you're aware, I had asked John, just because it's, pretty vague under land stewardship, we have various memberships, so I had asked him to let us know what those memberships actually were. So that is to be continued. I also noticed, I had asked about the AED batteries and pads, which I have no issues with that. I just was curious which locations actually have them, where they're being utilized, how often are the batteries, pads changed, et cetera. So he's gonna get back to me with those.
Actually, Dennis, could you speak to that now?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, all of our buildings, Nature Center, Myers Center, Observatory, those are all supplied with AEDs. Batteries, I check periodically throughout the year. They're usually good about 4 years. Our Rangers also have AEDs in their cars as well. So again, we just keep looking at making sure that the batteries are okay with them and the pads. When we change the batteries, the pads get changed.
Can I ask you, are they accessible? Or are
Yes.
they, okay. Because we have found, I did a study for the schools where a lot of the schools lock them up in the nurses, office.
Right.
And it's like, well, if the nurse isn't present or if she's not there, somebody's got to find a key or the maintenance man to open it up. Well, it needs to be accessible. They're afraid, because they cost so much money.
Yeah.
They're afraid to have them out or tampered with, but when you need them, they can't be locked up. They have
Right,
to be
right. Ours
accessible.
are actually in boxes that are designed to hold the AED with a sign above it, with a hard sign and AED. Other house is another location that the AEDs, and they're put next to an area where you can, they're not hidden.
Okay.
And again, too, I keep an eye on those throughout the year. Is anything that needs to be changed or updated on the AEDs? So we have quite a few of them, and unfortunately, we've not had to use one time, one of our Rangers, so it's a much needed piece of equipment.
Absolutely, agreed.
Do they have alarm features on them where if you open it,
Yes, yes.
and I know the ones that work, the red light starts to flash.
Yeah, it buzzes.
I never thought about this because that's not how they are at work, because they're in offices where people work.
Okay.
Is there anything is there any wireless communication available for them that if it's open,
It automatically calls.
it automatically, hits a 911 type,
Now, it actually prompts you if you're, with the machine, once you turn activate.
oh no, I know how they work, we're all trained on it, we have to be.
Right, right.
And that's maybe another question. We bring people in from Garfield Heights Fire, and they have like a separate company, and they come in and anybody who's going to have access to that has to be trained on CPR and the use of those pieces of equipment. So I'd like to know about that. But would you mind looking into, especially because of their remote settings,
Sure.
that if there are AED systems where once you open that thing up and the siren goes off, that
Right.
there's a signal sent to some, whether it's here or wherever. If I'm in an apartment, I dial 911, does that call come to the Rangers, or does that call,
Goes to the sheriff's office.
this is the sheriff's office?
And we're dispatched through the sheriff's office.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be just nice if that existed.
Sure.
I don't even know if it's available.
The great thing, I've also been trained on it many times, the great thing about it is anybody, even if they're not trained,
Right.
because it's so,
Yeah.
call 911 before you call, I mean, it literally tells you, you know, every single bush, you know, button to push and stuff like that, so they are really great. The only fear that I have is if a ranger has them and he's alone, you know, and he's gotta work on somebody, you know, they always, in reality, they hope that there's two people there, one to call 911 to operate the system, but
Right.
if you're not, it would be great.
Got it in that.
And do we have training?
Yes, everybody, every employee is trained in CPR and AED and first aid.
Okay, good,
Great.
good to know.
And then the last thing that I had was, again, because it's kind of broad, we had replaced several tires on our, in some of our fleet, and so I had asked John if he could provide us with a list of how many vehicles we have in our fleet, and how many were replaced, and what's the, so he'll be getting that to us as well.
When you provide that list, could you provide age of the vehicle, obviously make, model, and all that stuff, and also mileage?
Yeah.
Just to have a better idea of what the life cycle. What do you usually go for on a vehicle?
At one time, with the former administration, former board members, the desire was about every 5 years on plow trucks, or replace every 5 years, every 7 years on other vehicles. Since then, we take a different approach. We keep an eye on maintenance costs. A long time ago, I've been here for a while, don't quote me as to when, we used to have a mechanic in-house. We simply could not keep up with the technology. So the point being is we watch repair costs, and we see a truck or a car that's really starting to nickel and dime us, as many of us would at home. That's when we look to replace. We haven't added vehicles to the fleet in a number of years. We're replacing, but we're blessed. We've got a nice fleet of vehicles. We replace based on maintenance costs, not on schedule. All right. Any other questions on vouchers? All right, if not, we do have a motion, we have a second. All vote to approve the vouchers for the month of July. Mr. Long?
Yes.
Mrs. Vittori?
Yes.
And Mr. Barker?
Yes.
Thank you. We're going to jump into old business. I'm leaving this agenda item on the agenda. However, I do not have an update for you at this time. That is budget projections. I've gone to the management team, our last management team meeting, started looking at, as Jackie alluded to, how might we be able to take a look at some of the red areas in the budget projections, and we will be coming back to you with a laundry list of potential items where we could be potentially a little more conservative, so we are working on that laundry list. We're just got quite a few things going here, as you know, with the Nassau grand opening coming next Saturday, and Mizzou Park construction. But we will have a laundry list for you, potential areas where we can manage the budget a little more conservatively at the next board meeting. Next up is our recommendation for some reallocation of funds for the Clarendon Woodlands Ropes Course. Go ahead and read a memo from Matt McHugh. This terminology won't mean much to the board nor the general public, but we've got a video we're going to show you. This is from Matt. The U-zip line design that is currently in ropes course design that Aero Designs, who is the contractor we are working with, is working on, for the park district, would require a ladder and a staff member to exit the zip line after every use. After discussion with Aero Design, if the park district selects to use an auto zip line system, it would eliminate the need to have a staff member and a ladder for users to exit the zip line at the end of the ropes course. The cost to upgrade to the auto zip line would be $10,000. With this addition, it would increase the contract with Aerial Designs that you formerly approved. It would increase it to $68,440. It is recommended to utilize the auto zip line system for safety benefits, and that it could also alleviate long-term staffing needs for the ropes course. It is recommended that $15,000 be reallocated from the remaining funds budgeted for the demolition of the Swan Creek House and be added to the Clarendon Women's Ropes Course. This would allow for the upgrade to the auto zip line and leave $6,560 for a 9.6% contingency for this project for any unforeseen conditions that may arise during construction. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Matt. He's got some videos of what we have to look forward to explain this